Hi, I'm Dr. Tallis Barker from waterfasting.org, and I'm feeling really good out here on the trails because it's been a while actually, 2-3 weeks actually, because I did a 7-day water fast a couple weeks ago, and then of course you need a few days, I'm going to slow down here, you need a few days of rebuilding before you head out onto the trails again, and then of course now I've just been building back some mileage, and before that I'd had this really nagging ankle injury, which had been going on for actually a couple of months. It just didn't seem to want to get better. And that's the reason why I'm talking today. One of the questions which sometimes comes in is, does healing continue after the end of a fast? And the answer to this is a very definite yes. Healing continues not just through the fast itself, but well into the period following a fast. And I know this may come as a surprise to some of you because you think about it, well, I'm fasting, so I'm in healing mode. I end my fast, so I finish that healing mode. But especially when we're thinking about longer fasts, let's say of 7 days or more, when you finish the fast, the refeeding period extends for quite a few days, during which time you're not really taking on board a full amount of calories. So inevitably, ketosis is going to continue in the few days at the end of a fast. So that's one thing, but even more important than that are a couple of other issues which allow healing to continue well beyond the end of your fast. And these are the long-term changes to your immune system and your hormonal system. So we've all heard of the way that fasting can be really beneficial if you have the flu, or if you feel you're coming down with the flu. It's a great way to prevent yourself from coming down with bacteria and viruses and these kinds of things. And this is because fasting puts a lot of energy into your immune system, and it's like a fine-tuning, something which is going to continue actually in the period beyond the fast as well. So if you practice fasting, like I do obviously, then actually you come down with colds and flus pretty rarely. So in my case, if I'm unlucky, it's going to be once every 2-3 years. If I'm lucky, then it's less frequently than that. So that's one issue in terms of the beneficial effects to the immune system. On top of that, of course, a lot of people have heard about this so-called hormonal reset, this hormonal reboot. And this is evidenced in the fact that fasting can be so useful in dealing with hormonally based illnesses. So autoimmune type of issues, diabetes, for instance, especially type 2. So yes, fasting does have an effect well beyond the extent of the fast itself. And this also applies to physical healing as well. And I'm experiencing this right now in my own ankle. Now, it's easy to say, he's just had a rest. That's why things are getting better. That's why my ankle is feeling good finally. But I know my own body, and I know from previous fasts as well that it's precisely in the period after a fast when a lot of old-term injuries, nagging injuries, just clear up. And again, this relates to both of those issues I've already mentioned. So in terms of immune system and your hormonal system. When you have a physical injury, both of those systems have to work a little harder to get things fixed up. So for instance, your immune system is involved in clearing out damaged tissues. So for instance, there's a type of white blood cell called a macrophage, which is responsible for basically clearing out the damage. Now, of course, white blood cells form part of your immune system. After that, of course, you've got to rebuild back tissue. You've got to either build scar tissue or regenerate muscle tissue or epidermal tissue if it's a surface injury. And in order to do so, your body's pumping out higher levels of growth factor. Now, of course, growth factor is part of your hormonal system. And fasting can really help when it comes to dealing with these longer-term chronic nagging injuries. And it's also interesting to notice the way that this happens. So from myself right now, this is exactly 2 weeks after having finished my 7-day fast. And immediately after the fast, the priority for the body is to rebuild your inner organs. And during that time, I'm also personally convinced that it's also continuing to work on your hormonal system, on your immune system. And it's only after your body has finished working on rebuilding the inner organs that it goes out to work on the periphery of your body. In other words, muscle tissue. So what I tend to notice, and what I've noticed this time around as well, is that it's been in the last week, and only in the last week, that I've noticed my ankle really starting to heal. I'm so happy for that. So during the fast itself, for instance, I didn't really feel any change to the ankle, despite the fact that I was giving it a rest at the time. Now that I'm back running, it doesn't damage it anymore, because I'm in that period post-fast when everything is just working extremely efficiently and to my benefit. So I'm feeling very happy right now. Well, that's about it. My dog Shamley is also very happy that we're out running again. So the camera just switched off a second ago and I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. So I hope that you give fasting a go, because you'll be surprised. I really think you'll be surprised at the healing that you do experience during the fast, and like I've been talking about, after the fast as well. Give it a go.